It's not even on me yet.
Boom. We live, baby.
Not yet.
Son of a bitch, Christian.
Jesus
We had no
Christ.
problem.
All right,
Take
go ahead.
3.
God damn, Jacob. Act like you want to be here.
I was excited. I got excited.
I thought you did this for a living, bit,
I thought I
dog.
did too. Apparently not. You good? Boom. And we live, episode 190 of the No Hangover podcast. So, to introduce everybody, Jacob as always,
Eric,
my good
what's
friend
good?
Eric here, and we got
Like always.
Mystros on the mix.
Hey, what's happening?
What's good, brother?
Hella nervous to be on here, bro. It's been 8 years, but I feel like it was yesterday.
That's
Bro.
fine. I mean, people.
I
be
mean, it's
nervous
been
on the
long enough
podcast.
that we've been trying to get you on, so it's about time. Shit.
It's been about 8 years now.
Ooh.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
I'd rather
Hey.
y'all hit me up than Blacklist.
Bow.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, shit, we're on
good
the same
point.
wavelength already.
All right, but jumping straight into it. So we've been talking, for about an hour now. I remember back in 2017, turned on the news, saw some crazy shit go down.
Too many people turned on the news that late.
Yeah. So the day in question here, December 28th, turned on the news. You see a good old picture of you with 3 others. We'll get to them a little.
Damn, that's
in a-
right after Christmas,
in a
too.
little bit.
Bro, it was bad timing.
For
I
real.
was supposed to propose that week.
Oh, shit.
So now a case happened and I'm proposed, so it looked bad. Like
Yeah.
if I didn't propose for the right reasons. But it's
Like,
alright.
I'm
We're
going to
not
jail.
married right now anyway, but we get into that.
You're like,
Damn.
I love you, but I'll be away for a little bit. But turn on the news, saw, like I said, picture of you and some 3 others with some crazy shit go down. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Man, I've been wanting to tell a lot of people about it for so long. Long story short, bro, I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time, but we got caught up with 430 pounds. And when I say we, I'm going to try not to say names. If I do say any names, I would like them to be blurred out. Anything that's public knowledge, we can leave their name in.
Yeah.
Anyone can look it up. So I ain't putting nobody business out there that's not already out there.
Yeah.
Correct.
Shit, man. We was making hella money. It was being a little bit too greedy. I was in a barbershop getting a haircut. I'm not going to say the exact barbershop, but the barbershop I did mention in one of my papers you guys may or may not have over there. Anyway, so a guy approached me at a barbershop telling me that he has some cars for sale, that they may or may not be revend, that they may or may not be sort of hot, but legal at the same time.
Yeah.
So me being greedy, I was like, all right, I can go ahead and buy this car, 10, 20, 30,000, whatever it was at the time, and I can go ahead and flip it to one of my plugs in Cali. So long story short, I bought the car. A friend of mine bought another car. I took my car to Cali, sold it, flipped it for some packs. My friend sold his car. Fortunately, he didn't send it to California, and that's the one we ultimately got caught up for. And the same day that we have our packs drop, I don't know if God was just telling me it's my time to get out or what the case may be is, but the packs dropped. 4 hours later is when the cops busted us getting into the car to try to start it and leave. So, I mean, where do you guys want to go from there?
Yeah, I mean, going off of that information alone, the police report, what it states,
Oof.
I'll pull it up real quick.
Damn.
But going off of just that first, statement right there, on December 27th, at approximately 6:36 p.m., sheriffs roll up. I'm not going to mention the address. I mean, this is all public record if people want to know. But upon arrival, deputies located.
Look at the city that it was in, shit, because that's
Winter
what we're
Park.
talking about. Winter
Man,
Park,
if you want to
Florida.
drop the address, you can drop the address. Ain't nobody live there no more.
All right, 6913 Jackson Boulevard.
Winter Park, Florida.
Yep. So Seminole County PD pull up. Seminole County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
Bastards. Anyways, they pull up. They see you in the driver's seat of this vehicle. And yeah.
What kind of car was it?
It was an Escalade.
Damn.
It wasn't mine. That's the funny thing of the story. I bought a Range Rover, white. And the friend of mine, he had bought a Escalade. And like I said, I sold it. He sold his, but he never got it over there in time.
Mm.
So it was unfortunate that the day our packs drop is the same day that they come and try to retrieve that car that was supposed to be legally our possession at the time, but I guess it wasn't. So to give you a rundown of what happened exactly, said our packs drop. I'm not going to try to get too into detail without any questions that you guys may or may not have.
Yep.
And I'm in the passenger seat at the moment. and my friend tried to start the car, which obviously his name in the police report is Craig.
Yeah.
This is public knowledge. So
I was going to get into it. I mean,
you guys
it's,
feel like I'm putting your business out?
it's you and
It's
it's
public
you and
knowledge.
4
so
others.
it is what it is.
So,
at that
for
time.
instance, Michael, Craig, Caden, and Angelo. I mean, y'all know what you did. Like, y'all know what you did.
Damn.
It's in the police report. Like, no one ain't going to see this shit. So,
What's it say?
people who know what it is, they know what it is. This is your chance to kind of get your side of the story out, because not a lot of people get your side of the story. You know, they have public information, but that doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, public information is out on a lot of people. Not mentioning any names.
I'd rather rely on a lot of friends that I had at the time to try to tell the story for me.
Yeah.
But obviously, their word didn't hold weight. If people still
Yeah.
asking questions, their word didn't hold weight.
And what the story is this is what one of the biggest drug busts in
In Winter Park.
Winter Park history.
freaking
So I mean,
Seminole County history.
what 430 pounds
430 pounds of
That they
marijuana.
found
that they
at the time.
of good old marijuana. So, you know, nowadays that might not even be as big as news if it was today. Then it, you know, obviously it's still a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But the way that, you know, weed is kind of more socially acceptable now, is, you know, becoming recreationally legal and shit like that. You know, if that shit would have happened today, it might not even, you know, be as big of a deal. But at that time in 2017, it was still, you know, still right in that line of, you know, still Schedule I drug. Still a lot of people have this negative connotation on what marijuana is and all this shit.
A lot of
So then
police, you know, war on drugs.
yeah,
it was
so
like
then
their
it
number
turns into this whole big thing where, again, it turns into one of the biggest drug busts in Winter Park history. So, like, you know, when you hear that, what is that like? What's the thoughts that are going through your head
Man, to be honest, a lot
to
of
be
regret.
a part of that? Yeah, regret.
I can say proud to be a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Hey,
guess
shit.
it's a little bit of arrogant, but at the same time, at the time, at the age that I was and the things that I accomplished at the time, obviously in the streets to me now ain't an accomplishment like it was back then.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, to grow to that scale is
Oh, no,
big
I mean,
alone.
I mean, it's
It's
impressive.
impressive.
You
Yeah.
know,
No,
like,
that shit
it's
is
very-
fucking, that
that's a
shit
lot
is
of weed.
like, what the
Like,
fuck? Like,
I've never seen that much weed in my life. So, I mean, that's definitely impressive.
Listen, the man that sits in front of you now ain't the same man that was back then. So
so then what was your mindset then? What was like, how, like, so like when it gets to that point where you're getting busted for 430 pounds of weed, like, how did that start? Like, how did you get to that point?
1.2 million.
man, bro, it was like a snowball effect. So anyway, in high school, obviously, you know, I dibbled and dabbled in buying an ounce here. Back then, it was Reggie.
Yeah.
So you cop a $40, $50 ounce. Ain't no big deal. But back then, you got an ounce. You know, you're
Yeah.
kind
That's
of
money.
somebody.
Yeah, that's
in
money in
high
your pocket
school,
somehow.
You know?
Right,
Shit.
right, right.
So copping $40 to $50 ounces of Reggie. And, flipping
Reggie,
it, doing
that's
my
crazy.
thing.
Back in the
Anyway,
day. Turn way back.
Fast forward probably about a year later, and I had some seeds from a Reggie plant. I planted a seed in my backyard.
Damn, a botanist.
I lived with my mom and my dad at the time. I was probably 16 and a half, maybe 17. And shit, I went outside to water it, and I guess I took too long to water it. It was only maybe about 2 feet tall. Ended up dying. It was wilted over, was falling in the pot. And at that time, I was like, bro, it's over with. This shit is dead. I was so nonchalant about it being my age, and my mom wasn't paying mind of what I was doing at the time. And in the backyard, it died. I thought it died. My dad was a truck driver. He was over the road in Atlanta. He had came home, and I guess I didn't mow the grass that week. He fucking yanks me out of bed like, hey, get the fuck up. What is this? I don't know what he's talking about. I walk out, follow him to the backyard. I'm thinking that he's mad because I didn't
Cut the grass.
cut the grass around the pool or
Yeah.
edge right or did something because I didn't do it that week. And he fucking brings me over to the fucking pot. And, bro, when I tell you that fucking weed plant is thriving, it's like 3.5 feet tall.
It's like, oh, shit.
A hurricane hit as well after the drought. A hurricane hit that same week, like the bands. I forget what hurricane it was. And that motherfucker was healthy as fuck. Yanked me out of bed. And at that time, I knew, like, damn, I just love weed. I didn't like to smoke weed. I get anxiety from it. I get panic attacks. There was very few occasions where I could smoke and feel good.
Yeah.
So at that moment, I knew I was in love with weed. So I'm like, shit, let me hustle. I'm going to still do my thing. My uncle came probably 6 months after that. He was trying to flip a 30 or 40 pack in Atlanta. And I guess the guy was trying to rob him. He got a good feeling about it. He was about, he was in a hotel room. The guy was telling him, come downstairs, you know, with the pack, and I'll give you the money. He's like, nah, this is weird. So what he did, it was my mom's brother. He had came downtown or down south from Atlanta to Florida. And he's not telling me why he's there, you know, but it's weird. My uncle is from L.A. He don't come like that. I'm starting to smell weed from his car. I start asking questions like, "Hey, like, Unc, I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, you're either smoking hella weed or you got some
Or
weed
you
in the
moving
car.
shit,
Like, what's
yeah.
up? Like, I move weed." He started dropping questions later that night, and I guess he was so desperate, he ended up telling me, like, "Hey, nephew, I got about 20 pounds. You know, I was supposed to sell 40 in Atlanta. I sold some of them to a different guy, but the guy I was originally supposed to sell to was trying to rob me. So he's like, do you mind if I leave them with you and I'll come back in a couple weeks?" I'm like, yeah, I don't mind. But let me ask you a question. If you leave them with me and you come back in their cash, are you going to tell my mom?
Yeah.
And he was like,
Hey, it
That's
is
your-
what it is.
he was like, that's your business if you want to tell your mom. He was like,
Yeah.
if there's cash when I come back, I'm not going to be
Yeah,
upset.
you ain't gonna be mad about it.
And that, at this time, so when this is happening, like around what year is this, or like what time is this? Like how far removed are we from
I want to
before
say
all this shit happens?
2010,
All right.
2000, maybe 2011. I want to say 2010. I was 17, 18 years old at the time.
Yeah.
I had just kind of started getting into the relationship I'm in now. So I'm trying to be a provider, you know, doing my thing. The recession hit, so my father, like, he's working out of town, so
Yeah.
we don't got the most money at the moment. And all my friends, you know, like, I didn't have the best friends at the time, so I was getting into the wrong shit I wasn't supposed to be into.
Yeah.
Started selling weed, doing my thing. And when my uncle left those packs because he was in that weird situation, oh, dog, that's what opened the doors for me.
You see a fucking opportunity right there. That's the fucking cash cow right
As
there.
a born
Shit.
hustler.
And then
You know,
and then he
hustler
didn't tell
mentality.
my mom. So I'm like, oh, bro, it's lit. So I tell my uncle, I'm like, hey, bro, when you bring stuff down here, I got a way to get rid of it all. He's like, all right, I'm going to be back with 40 next month. I
Bet.
say less. So shit, next month comes, he drops off a pack, boom, I do my thing. Obviously, I didn't sell them all. I hooked him up with some big buyers that I had relationships with through other people.
Yeah.
So that way, if it was a loss, it wasn't really on me. It was like, hey, uncle, you're doing your thing. You're responsible for your own shit. Just give me my 5 or 10 that you know I
Yeah.
can move. I'm going to do my thing. So we did that for probably about 2 or 3 months. He ended up getting caught later on in Texas going to see. He was supposed to stop and see my mom in Amarillo. This is after my parents left from Florida to go to Texas. So now I'm on my own. All I
Yeah.
have is really my hustle. I don't got parents to rely on. You know, at 17 and a half, 18 is when I moved into my first house. I got a job at a telemarketing office, kind of doing my thing, but I'm relying on the hustling money.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the growth potential with it. I'm telling all my friends, like, hey, I'm going to drop an ounce off with you. Let's run it up. You know, like, I got unlimited potential.
Yeah.
I'm only getting 5 or 10 pounds, but at that time, I thought I was big time. I thought I was Pablo Escobar at the moment.
Yeah, to you, that's like, especially you're 17,
And all
you
my
don't know any
friends.
better.
Yeah,
Exactly.
kids. I mean, shit.
And
If
all
I
my
saw that much,
friends-
I would be like, oh my god.
Yeah, for real, you're naive to
I
all
was
that shit.
excited. And what's crazy, I ended up moving to my first apartment. Those 10 pounds that I had, I ended up moving, making some money, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing. My uncle got caught up in Texas. And that he had to lay off and chill out. At the
Yeah.
moment, I'm just getting my feet wet now. I'm starting to move weight. So I'm like, yo, Unc, stay where you're at. I'm going to come fly to California. He's like, if you don't come here without money. I'm like, oh, I'm coming with money.
Oh, shit.
At the moment, I thought it was money, but it really wasn't no money. I came with like $20,000.
And how much, like, I guess, like, to put some, like, perspective on it, how is that, like, to your uncle at that time, was that a lot? Or he, like, when you came with
That
that
was like
shit,
chump
was it
change.
like, bro, what the fuck is this? Like,
After he had caught up, I think it was something to him. But
Alright.
before he had got caught up, he was like, bro, you're only coming with like $20,000.
Yeah.
That's only 10 pounds. At that moment, back in 2011, 2012, outdoor was going for like 2,000 to 2,200 if you're in LA picking it up,
yeah.
or in Northern California picking it up. Now, if you're bringing it to Florida, bringing it here, at that moment, it was like 3,200 a pound. Indoor was 4,000. So to me and to all my friends, yo, that's a shit ton of money. I got $30,000 to them.
Yeah.
In my mind, I got 20. But at the end of the day, you know, at that time, it was a different era.
Yeah. Damn.
It's crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, even now, fucking, that's a little 30K don't sound bad shit.
Shit, 30K now is still a lot. You know what I'm
For
saying?
real.
To me now, I'm being a
Yeah.
legal working man. You know, I work for
Yeah.
Cisco. So at the end of the day, like, I have a dispatching company. You know, I'm doing other things. I day trade.
Yeah.
But now I really know the value of a dollar.
Yeah.
Back then I didn't. Money came too fast.
Well, when it's coming in that fast, like it's
Yeah,
a lot.
fast
It's
money is
easy to
the
take it for granted.
whole
Like
different
when
thing.
when you're able to make 20, 30, 40K, you know, in a few just by driving, dropping off some shit, and then fucking doing what you got to do, 30K ain't shit.
Yeah, nah.
When you're having to do it like in the legal way through Uncle Sam and all that shit, like you said, you start understanding like, fuck, like now I understand how much harder it is when you're trying to do it clean and you're trying to build it up in the right way. How much harder it is to come, about $1 and shit like
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Well, going back to, so like let's fast forward a little bit from then. So that's like basically the birth of your
That's
hustling.
the origin story.
Yeah.
That's
I was
the-
getting my
that's
feet
the-
wet,
that's the birth
and I
of
was
the
trying to
hustling.
run before learning how to walk.
Yeah. So
Pretty much.
then even before the arrest in 2017. We'll talk about let's talk about Pink, for example.
Well,
before
we get to Pink, can you pass that motherfucking bottle right there? I got you. Damn. We fast forward real quick.
Real, because that's almost to the point where
And then the
you,
Sprite.
you got busted, right?
When'd you start running Pink?
So Pink came along from a business opportunity, and
Pink was a club
nightclub.
downtown.
Yeah.
it was a
Nightclub in
nightclub
Orlando.
on Church Street, which it used to be called Club 23.
All right.
And the guys who bought out 23 named it Pink Elephant. So in 2015, here in October, or maybe August, September, I started looking for a print shop in downtown Orlando. I got involved with a guy named Troy Gunn through an artist that I was managing named Derek Milano. And if you guys look up his name now, he's actually a famous writer for a lot of artists. I think he's signed through Epic. I'm not exactly sure. We barely talk at this moment, but so anyway, me managing an artist, putting money into him and his recording time, he introduced me to a guy named Troy Gunn. Troy Gunn was almost basically like a manager or like a self-promoter who managed other promoters such as Yale Mellow Events and KTZ, and I want to say he was helping out Dell. Dell is the main promoter for Cocky Kind. He is cocky. He ended up coming up with a clothing brand. Before I get lost, anyway, Troy, he had a lot of connections with guys in nightclubs, such as John and I want to say George, the owners of Beecham. I don't know if they still own it now or not now, but they owned Arrow, they owned other spaces. He also was involved with some guys such as Justin and Jeff Gito with Gito's Pizza downtown on Orange. I don't know if you're familiar. It's next to Room 22.
Yeah. Damn,
And,
they got some good pizza. Shout out to y'all. Fuck.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff Gito and the whole V Group
Providing
fam.
good pizza to the hungover.
And
No hangover,
so
baby.
he when I was
not
looking
good
for a
hangover.
print shop downtown, he told me, he was like, "Hey, Mike, you ever thought about owning a nightclub?" And I'm like, "Not really. Like, bro, I don't know how to I know how to drink liquor. I don't know how to sell liquor.
Yeah,
you know,
manage that
like
shit.
I was promoting an artist, so we were going downtown. We had some people following us around. We were getting VIP. We were doing some shows. We had a song with Fetty Wap, Kodak Black. So we
bet.
were doing some good shit
Yeah.
around the city." And he was like, "Bro, if we own a nightclub, like I got the promoters that are gonna do it." And I'm like, "Okay, well, shit." Well, Mello was my friend at that time. Now I'm like, yeah, Mello Events. We did a concert with Young Thug at Vane, and that shit was successful.
Yeah.
We did a Young Thug concert in Tallahassee. That was pretty successful, and all the other events with Yao Mello Events was very successful as well.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, it kind of makes sense if he's got the promoters, and I got a connection with Richie and Junewell with Wanted.
For Wanted.
So I'm like, bro, if he can bring the hip hop crowd, I know damn well with my connection, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he
bring
can
the
bring the
Spanish
Latin
crowd,
crowd. Yeah.
and we
Yeah,
can make
sure.
some damn money.
Yeah.
So he convinced me. Not even say he convinced me, because I convinced myself. Let me not put any blame on him. It was me.
Yeah.
So he introduced me to Jeff and Justin. We sat down with them. They're like, "Hey, we got a nightclub that's kind of failing. It's called Pink Elephant. Would you guys like to take it over?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Shit. What's the rent? $13,500. Sounds pretty steep, but it's also steeper if you got to buy a liquor license yourself, which is like $250,000.
They already had one?
Yeah, they already had one. And if you're connected to the building, technically, you can grandfather into that liquor license since the
bet.
buildings are
Yeah.
conjoined.
Yeah.
So for $13,500, I rented the space, and the liquor license came with it. So
Which isn't bad at all.
yeah.
Shit.
So to get into the nightclub, I had sold my oil shop that I had in California, which I'm sure you guys probably want backstory on that. But whenever you guys are ready for those questions, we can get there.
Oil shop, like a fucking Valvoline type shit, or
Yeah, like Valvoline, like not weed oil type.
yeah,
of shit,
no,
you know what
yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
figured, but like for your car, like you're
Yeah.
driving in, getting your oil changed, and then dipping out.
Yeah, so I bought like the most poppin' oil change spot in time. It cost me $250,000. But before we get into that story,
Yeah.
to get back to your Pink question, I sold it and I ended up putting $25,000 towards Pink, and then I had that first month rent coming up in January. So it happened we talked about it in August, September, and we ended up making it happen in December. So I had to come up with $25,000 deposit, $13,500 to get into the club, and then also at that time, Wahlburgers across the street was finishing construction.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting connected with the Wahlburgers, like Mark Wahlberg and his brother. I think his name is Danny.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure, and his father. And we got into the works of, hey, we're going to do the grand opening at the same time as the Wahlburgers are. Because they're inviting celebrities out. They're closing down Church Street. Like, bro, it's going to be massive.
Yeah.
So we ended up pressing go really fast in December to get that lease and to get that ownership.
To get everything going.
Yeah, to get it all going anyway. And so that's how that started. I don't know what your question exactly was.
Well, that was
I
just,
got lost.
I mean, the Pink, I asked the question because, I mean, this is from someone who went to Pink. Had a great time there.
This is where your story started.
I've been to the nightclub Pink.
Well, as far as like, I mean, go ahead before I ask anything.
And that was just, my question was basically like, is that why you got into it? Because like the promoting, and you kind of answered that. Like, you didn't necessarily get into that for that. It was just like I said, your backstory already. You were kind of already the hustler to that point. And it was more of like, this was a good, I feel like that was a good venture for you to get into at that time. And then to go off that, how much drug money was kind of running?
That was gonna be my
Ring
question.
the alarm.
I was gonna be my question is that if were you using like those like the oil company in California and Pink, like were you using that to clean your money, or were you just like it was just you were making money and it was just something to fucking do because like I can
had
do
so
it.
much money, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm gonna say it like this: I had acquired an oil shop. I'm not telling you how I acquired an oil shop because you didn't ask me that question. But I acquired an oil shop. The oil shop did very successful. Ended up moving back from to Orlando when I sold it. So to answer your question, it wasn't drug money. It was money that I sold the oil. It's oil money. I'm basically A-Rab at this point.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? With just light complexion.
You got your
Just
fucking Saudi
light skin Arab.
I got my Saudi Arabian card in my pocket. You know? We're tied in.
Hey, well, that's what you got to do sometimes. I mean, when you're making that type of money, shit.
Now
I can only imagine like the type of opportunities that came to you, like once people started realizing, like, all right, I see what he's about. I see where his mind's at. I see where the hustle is. You know, when people start I mean, and that happens in all, in all fields. Once people start seeing like what you're about and what your work ethic is, people want to start, throwing opportunities your way. So I've kind of figured that, like,
with you, asking you, oh, will you help us out here? Oh, you willing to do this?
And like that being said, like, do you feel like people try to take advantage of that? Like once they see that, all right, I see what he's good for. I see what he can make for me. Like, do you think people are seeing it more from a sense of like, what's going to be the best situation for both of us to win, or is it like more of like I want to see what I can squeeze out of this guy for like more for myself instead of like the benefit of everybody?
So shit, everyone's always out for themselves. I feel like everyone wants to get on your boat so they can take wood from your boat and build another boat and then go wherever they planned on going from the beginning.
Yeah.
Now you do have some people who get involved with you who want to go far with you, which a lot of my friends probably did. And then Troy Gunn, for instance, he had his own boat from the beginning. So I feel like he never used me from the beginning. And we got into the venture. Now Derek Milano, on the other hand, he was doing his music thing, you know what I'm saying? But he was reaching the end to where his mom was tired of investing into him. Yeah. He didn't have no money to invest into himself. His engineer, Burke, I think his name is, he's from Indiana, moved to Florida, moved back. Anyway, he was tired of doing shit for free. Like, hey, dude, like, Derek was a promoter downtown at Vane on Thursdays, and at that time Thursday could have been popping, but it wasn't. It's still never gonna be popping like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right. Yeah.
That Friday Junior.
Yeah. So a lot of people that I dealt with, that I met downtown, who was partying in my VIP, everyone wanted a slice of the pie that I had. And the type of guy I am, I don't mind if you want a slice of the pie, bro. Just be loyal, like let's just do business the correct way. Yeah. And at that time, bro, I was not to say I'm not solid now, because I'm super fucking solid. Yeah. But I was super solid back then as well when it came to the street shit. Like, I wasn't the biggest gangster, none of that. I never been like, oh, I'm the toughest or nothing. But when it came to business, bro, I wanted you to do business a certain way, which I guess it's my way, and people could say I have a God complex. But at the same time, it's like, bro, do business my way, and that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like
there's codes to stick by.
Yeah, there's a certain way. Even like whether you're doing it clean or you're doing it in the streets where there's not really rules and shit like that, there's still like
there's a certain way to do business.
Exactly. Like even like if you watch like all the movies and study all these fucking Pablo, El Chapo, all these fucking fucking drug lords and shit like that, there's still like even when it's in the gutter and it's all fucking dirty and shit like that, there's still a certain way that you got to move. There's still a certain way, like, respect is respect.
Yeah.
Whether you're
Certain
in a
way to
suit
operate.
or whether you're in a fucking, you know, in some sweatpants and a fucking white tee on the corner, whatever it is, like, there's respect and there's certain ways to do things.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, like, when it comes to, like, you know, when there is not as much, you know, regulation and shit like that, when people start fucking each other over, that's when it can start getting a little dirty and shit like that.
And the lines can get blurred.
This is the streets, bro. This is a dog-eat-dog world. So at the end of the day, you can't be upset if your friend wants to get where you're at and he wants to take a different path.
Yeah.
He ends up finding a plug in your same city. It's going to suck and it's going to hurt you, but at the end of the day, bro, he's got the same goal you got. He's trying to make it by hustling.
Correct.
Now, if he's going to be low and be like, hey, bro, this dude's trying to give me this price, I need you to pretty much match it, or I might pay an extra $20. Like, bro, be my friend and pay the extra $20 instead of going behind, going around me and finding your own source. It's like,
Well,
it's just the streets, though.
Yeah,
That's how it
it
goes.
shows people's character and shows who people are a lot quicker than it does in, like, corporate settings. That's for sure. Because, like, you saw, you know, if you're around there and you kind of grow up around that corporate setting, you kind of see where the shystiness still is.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot more politics involved than there is in, like, street shit.
There's
and
a lot
stuff
more
like that.
ass kissing and fucking, you know, in politics at least. There's a lot more.
Real jobs.
Yeah,
You got to kiss ass in a real job.
Yeah.
Correct. There's a lot more people.
There's only
you know,
so much
saving face and being like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" When they don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
no
that's
one
it.
does.
It
It's all about the
gets
money at the
down
end
to
of the
the
day.
brass tacks a lot quicker. It's like, listen, like, either you're gonna help me out or you're not. I'm gonna go find someone else to help me out. Like, that's it.
And in that case, for instance, like someone paying an extra $20 or outsourcing it, being like, "Oh, I can go around you and get it for this."
Yeah.
But that shows, like Eric was saying, people's character. People not willing to, you know, kind of, this is who I came up with. Let me stay with him. You know, we're on this path together. Some people try to venture off, be like, "Oh, I can do this on my own." And that's another thing I've told other people. People will find out quicker if they do go on their own. For instance, they'll be like, "Oh, fuck, I might have fucked up. You know, I had it good here. Here I am thinking I can do this on my own. I can't."
Yeah.
And like a lot of people get into that shit thinking, "Oh, they're all big and bad. They can do it on their own," and they can't.
So when it comes to the streets, it's kind of a little bit different. Like, people can definitely go out on their own, and, you know, it might not work for them. But when it comes to the streets, bro, if they get a plug better than what you are, it's going to work out. They got the custodies. They're going to sell it.
Oh, yeah.
So regardless of the situation is, whatever situation you bring in has to be the best. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants the end result. Everyone wants to be the man. Everyone wants to make money. Everyone wants to get further in life. Hopefully they still do it with their group of friends without having to deviate and do it on their own, you know? So I created a path. I found the city of gold. You know what I'm saying? The Emerald Triangle. Like, look it up. You know what I'm saying? You got to work. And, you know, I brought motherfuckers to the city. Motherfuckers found their own plugs, did their own thing. I never got in the way. I don't mind, you know, I don't mind that they did their own thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't got no hard feelings towards them, because at the end of the day, when it
Yeah, you
came to
brought
my
him there.
uncle, I brought him there. But when it came to my uncle and he stopped hustling, he got caught up and did his own thing, I ended up finding my own plug and doing my own thing.
Right.
My uncle was probably upset, but when I got caught up, he was charging me 2 to 3 points per pound. He was supposed to help me with an attorney, help me get back on my feet, but when shit hit the fan, he wasn't there for me. So when I did find my own route, he can't be upset.
Yeah.
And when it comes to friends, when we're hustling, doing our thing, if friends found their own route, still include me in your route. Because when you ate at my table, make sure I eat at your table.
Yeah.
That's how the streets need to go, but it don't go that way.
So
Correct.
how
That's-
often, like, were you finding yourself, like, you bringing people in, even if it was someone who was, like, from, like, with you from the jump or whatever, people that you thought you could trust, like, how often did you find yourself, like, I guess kind of paranoid, like, questioning, like, damn, like, what is this person's real intentions with
All the
me?
time. When you're in the streets, bro, you got to question people all the time, their motive, what they got going on. Like, the best friend who was next to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a nobody, stocking shelves at a Winn-Dixie. You know what I'm saying? He was scared of motherfuckers that look like Justin Bieber. Like, my brother died. Like, I got an older brother. He had died before I was born. So at the end of the day, I always had to look after my sisters, and my dad raised me to look after my mom. So I was always a protector and somebody who provided and somebody who looked after other people. So when I found this guy, right, a friend of mine, and I looked after him, fuck, I got lost in the train of question. Where was we at?
So you're talking about, like when
How
when
paranoid
you
did it
bring
kinda make
people
you?
on, yeah.
So to get back to that, a friend of mine, bro, who was a nobody, who had nothing going on, I hatch him like a little hatching, like a little chick. Dead ass.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the streets, wasn't doing anything. His brother wasn't doing, his family wasn't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
I was doing my thing. Found this guy. He was a good friend of mine. I looked at him like I needed to protect him. He called me one day by my crib like, hey, bro, these people are following me. I'm like, what do you mean they following you? I lived off Red Bug at the time. And I'll get to the point in a second. Let me just get
Yeah,
through the
no,
story.
go ahead.
He calls me, hey, these dudes are following me. I'm like, what happened? He was like, this girl tried to set me up because these dudes didn't like me, and they wanted to fight me. So I went around the block after I left and seen they were setting me up, and I shot a shotgun. I'm like, you shot a shotgun at them? No, I shot a shotgun around the block. I'm like, bro, that's some weird ass shit. What the fuck you got going on? Anyway, he's like, bro, I'm by your neighborhood. They're fucking following me. I'm by this Walmart. I'm like, bro, come to my house. I'm going to make sure you go ahead and shoot the fade with these guys. Bro, I'm scared. I'm like, bro, you got to just shoot the fade with them.
Yeah.
They set you up. They want to fight you, obviously. Go ahead and shoot the one-on-one. I'm going to go with you. And at that moment, like, my name pretty much held weight in high school. I wasn't a fighter, but I stood up for myself, and people knew, like, what I was
respect,
about.
bro.
You know, I did,
Respect,
for sure. So he shoots the fade with these guys. Boom, boom, boom. Long story short, this is my best motherfucking friend. I looked after him, did his thing. He ends up robbing my best fucking friends while we're at a strip club when the plugs dropped off work. He didn't rob me. He robbed my best friends, though, which were also his fucking best friends.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when it comes to the street shit with loyalty, bro, everyone's only loyalty to a certain extent. What you can provide, if they can come up off what you got going on or come up off of your friends of what they got going on, they gonna do so, bro.
Yeah.
So when the streets ain't like a job. The streets, they gonna get it by any means.
Well, in the streets, you can come up a little quicker. For
Way
instance,
fucking quicker, bro.
in a normal job, in a 9 to 5, you can know you work better, work harder than somebody else, but it's also the politics with it.
For sure.
You know, they might know somebody you don't know, so they have that role.
Yeah.
You might know, oh, I'm a better worker than them. I'll show up more than them. I can do this better than them. It don't matter. In the streets, that's a whole different thing. It's more of they see a direct path. They're like, oh, I can
Deviate,
jump.
shortcut.
I can beat all these people to this point, and now I'm gonna come up and they're all fucked.
Yep.
And it's kind of like, granted, they think this way, but then they have to live with the same shit. You know, we were just asking you. They're gonna be paranoid now because they just fucking came up on people. Now those people are gonna be looking at them like, oh, we know what you did.
Yeah.
You know, because
but I mean that's the allure of fast money though. Like, is that
fast money. It comes
shortcut.
quick, but it leaves
it's
quicker.
A shortcut.
Back off. So to back on Jacob's point of loyalty, when it comes to loyalty, like I was super loyal. A fucking friend of mine that I basically hatched from a hatchling to raise him into adulthood to be a man. Like, hey, bro, you got to shoot if they trying to shoot the fade with you, you got to shoot the fade. He wasn't even my good friend at the time. We were just friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when I knew my friend was in trouble, like, hey, bro, like it's finna go down. Like, pick me up. I'm gonna make sure you shoot the fade with him and you don't get jumped. It was like, I want to say 5, 6, 7 of them, and y'all knew who y'all was at that time. And he shot the fade with him, and that's what it was. So when he robbed my friends, I knew he did it. He tried to lie and say he did it. I'm like, bro, what's good? Like, what's going on with you? Like, something's up. You're the only one who had the house key. You had to have took their work. My work was still there in a toolbox. It was locked, so it's not like someone could just pick up that big-ass toolbox.
Yeah.
You know? So he ended up telling me he did it. I'm like, bro, you got to fix it with them. You know, they're accusing you. They're telling me that, yo, we got to set you up. Make sure he comes over here so we can, you know, put him in a trunk, blah, blah, blah. I was so loyal to this guy because I protected him. You know what I'm saying? How you scared of Justin Bieber's? I was raised to be a protector and provider, so I protected this dude like he was a brother of mine.
Yeah.
And I was so loyal. He robbed my best fucking friends, and I told my best friends in the face, like, I don't think he would do it, bro. Because I told him, yo, you robbed them, go ahead and fix that shit. And guess who he tried to sell the work to that he robbed my friends from?
You?
One of my custies.
Shit. Close enough.
How the fuck you rob my best friends and then try to drop work off to my custody, bro? What type of loyal ass shit is that? That's whole shit. I should have cut him off at that point. But my loyalty runs so deep. When I love you, bro, I love you. If you do wrong, I'm going to tell you did wrong, bro. I'm going to tell you also you got to fix that shit.
Yeah.
I love you. I love my friends. My friends who did get robbed, bro, I'm sorry y'all got robbed. I had nothing to do with it. Y'all should know that from the bottom of y'all heart. And when he robbed them and I told him he got to fix it, bro, he ain't never fixed it, bro. Some people aren't a man of their word, or when they fuck up, they don't fix their fuck ups. I'm the type of man, if I do fuck up, I'm sorry I fucked up. I ain't perfect.
You stand on it.
You know what I'm saying? I make mistakes. In 2021, matter of fact, 2020 to 2022, I made the most mistakes of my life with all of my friends. I ain't got none of my friends I was hustling with back then, which I probably made the wrong type of judgment, or I pressed them the wrong way, or I wasn't acting the right type of way. I was in a severe depression 2020 to 2022. But to get back to the loyalty shit, I'm so loyal to motherfuckers that they even do my friends wrong. I'm like, bro, I know you fucked up. People ain't perfect. I don't expect you to be perfect. But fix your fuck up, bro, and I'm going to give you the chance to do so. I'm going to give you another couple chances. Right. And I gave this best friend of mine plenty of motherfucking chances, dog. And when shit hit the fan in 2017, shit hit the fan, and he still ain't telling motherfuckers the truth about what the fuck happened.
Well, I mean, going off the reports themselves,
Cool.
it's like,
What the fuck the report
it's
say?
like, it's like,
I seen it before.
well, I mean, shit, we got the charges. What do you want me to go off of? I mean,
Man,
I got all kinds of stuff here.
Go off exactly what you got.
Well, just based off of what you're saying. So I know you and Craig used to be very tight.
That was my brother, bro.
Yeah. So going off these charges, Craig got charged with trafficking of cannabis, excess of 25 pounds or 300 plants, and possession
300
of
plants? God
and
damn.
There was no plans there.
there was no plans. It's just the amount.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was about to say,
And
God damn.
possession of a weapon with
Ammunition.
with ammo by a convicted felon, and then you, my good friend here, you got charged with trafficking of marijuana, 50 plus pounds, and then dealing in stolen property and grand theft.
Yeah.
Like you said, that was the beginning of the story. From the news to now, you were in the front seat of the car, you got to the driver's seat,
Yeah.
like
That's my
and that-
car, right?
and that's what they got you on.
Yeah.
But
So-
going off that, it's just like we've said, hustle's life. Fast money comes quick and goes quicker.
The feds come way quicker. I'll let you know right now. Them cops come quick as
Once
shit.
they get the fucking hit on you, they fucking know. So as far as like, so I know we're kind of skipping over a lot of shit, but like, so you get fucking busted. You got the cops right there. You're fucking like, what is going through your mind at this time? Like when, you've already built up, in a sense, like a small empire in a sense. Like you got you got the club going. You're fucking, moving money. You're set. So like once you're in that seat and you see the red and blue lights come on, like what is that feeling that's going through you right now? Like what's going through your head? How is you about to shit your heart out? Like what's going on at that moment? Because I can only fucking imagine. Like
I feel like no one can really explain it unless you've been through the rear view and you've really, really seen it and your life is gone. At that moment, I feel like my life was over with. Because they caught us with 50, but when they got the search warrant and went inside, they really caught us with 430.
Yeah.
So like you said,
430
430 pounds in Winter Park. So at the moment,
street value of 1.2 mil.
at the moment,
Yeah.
at
There
the
you go.
moment,
Hit 'em
to
with
give
facts.
to give context, this wasn't even my vehicle.
Yeah.
You're not even at my house. But at the time, it was my work. You know what I'm saying? Buddy did have a good amount. I'm not gonna say his name, but he had a decent amount. But majority of his shit was mine.
Yeah.
We jumped in Buddy's car. A lot of people don't even know this side of the story, that it wasn't even my car. I jumped. We get into this vehicle that's not mine. I'm in the passenger seat, Buddy's in the driver's seat, and the car's not starting. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna fuck with the battery. Go ahead and jump in the driver's seat." I jump in the driver's seat, try to turn on the car. It's not turning on. The guy we got the cars from, I call Buddy. I'm like, "Hey, bro, this car's not turning on." He's like, "Oh, it's in driver B mode. Try to switch it to driver A mode." At the time, he must have been stalling. I had no idea. I'm trying to switch it on the steering wheel to driver A mode. I ain't never heard of this in my life.
Yeah.
But
Driver
I
A,
ain't never
driver B.
I
also,
mean, I'm hearing you say this shit now. I'm still like, what the fuck is that even?
I never even owned a brand new Escalade. So at
Yeah.
that time in 2017, I didn't know it was the brand new joint. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to switch it to driver A mode. As soon as I'm switching to driver A mode, whoop, 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 5 to 6 undercover cars pop up, 2 or 3, regular police cars pull up in an instant. I'm on the phone with the guy. I tell the guy, "Hey, bro, police was just pulled up. Let me hang up." Click, hang up the phone on him. I thought my life was over with.
Yeah.
Now, 20 years over with? No. 5 to 10. I didn't think I was total fucked, but I knew I was fucked. I'm getting caught with 50. I'm finna go down. Cops roll up. I jump out the car saying the car is mine. The car is not mine. Mind you. I'm not going to say who the car was, but it definitely was not mine. So what other questions did you guys have besides that?
Well, besides what y'all got charged with and like.
Hold on. I ain't going to lie. I got to go to the bathroom, bro. So I'm going to ask you that question again. And
Yeah,
we'll
go
get
ahead.
right
You
back
good?
to it.
Yeah, you good. You good. All right, back. Had a little potty break. We good.
Sure.
But so back to what my question was, like, so in that moment, like where you're getting pulled, or not even pulled over, you're not even out of the driveway, like
Yeah.
your initial feelings of like
You just see hell of red
fucking
blue lights. pull
yeah,
up.
like you said, it was what, 5 cops that came, like 3 undercover and 2.
Yeah, it's like 3 undercover, 2 regular cars.
So
something
like,
that.
you're over here, you're thinking like, damn, like I got at least a solid 10 years. That is like in that initial like instance, like. How fucked do you feel at that point? Like
Listen,
essentially, how fucked do you
I
feel?
felt fucked, but also knew I had 380 pounds I could still rely on in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
So when I jumped out the car saying it's mine, Like, bro, I'm trying to take responsibility for what's there on the scene.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they don't go inside and try to get the rest, you know, which eventually they did. They went to and drove to a judge's house, got him to sign off on the warrant, and ended up going inside. So I felt fucked. But in the moment, I thought I still saved the bag.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to go down 5 years, 10 years, or whatever. So that way I can save 300,000, 400,000, whatever the case may be. Is I still be straight.
Yeah. So in that sense, like, how do you, like, as far as, like, because that's your income at that point, like, how are you making sure that, like, the money's still coming in, shit's still gonna be good, like you're still gonna be able to cover your own ass and shit like that? In that sense, like, I mean, you're essentially caught red-handed.
Yeah.
Like, how is it that, like, in your head, like, I know I'm good even if I got to do 5-10 years? Like, what is it that, like, was it that you had, you know, like the infrastructure that you had built up at that point, you were just confident enough in it, or like?
Shit, I was very confident in the team and my friends that I had at the moment.
Yeah.
Later on, it would come to find out that they weren't as solid as I thought.
Yeah.
But I had just invested $50,000 in a tax franchise, which I still got going on to this day. And I still had maybe other stuff, other places, and I still had a decent amount of money to get me through the lawyer situations and fighting the case. And if I had to go to prison, like I said, I'd still be able to rely on the team that I had built.
Yeah. So at
that was my confidence that I had.
Yeah. So at that point, you have enough money invested in other things that you got money coming in clean that you don't got to worry about, like, because I know in, like, in instances like that, like, people, you know, obviously the government's going to try and, like, freeze your assets, freeze accounts, shit like that. But you at that point, you're confident enough that you got enough clean money coming in that you're not going to have to worry about, like, hey, if they fucking, you know, they fucking charge me on 430 fucking pounds, but I'm still fucking straight as far as, like, the money that I got coming in outside.
I mean, we read the charges. They charged him with 50. They didn't charge him with 430.
So let me tell you guys this.
Yeah.
So in the police report, it says that we were caught with 50 in the car. So when you get charged with anything above 25 pounds, it's trafficking. So they still charged me for 430. So trafficking of cannabis is 25 and up. So the police report says 50 right there. They didn't charge me for 50. They charged me with trafficking of cannabis, which is 25 and above. We got caught with 430. The feds can pick up a case anything above, I think, 400 pounds. So we were waiting on the feds to pick up charges. They never did. Thank God. They really pick up charges after 600 pounds. So we were still in the trafficking phase, dealing with the state, not having to deal with the feds, which made the case a lot easier.
Yeah.
So with the infrastructure that I had, do y'all think when Pablo Escobar really got arrested, he thought his for sure life and money he had going on for his family was over with? No. He had built a good circle and a good infrastructure that keep moving. So I had the faith in my friends and the team that I had going on to, hey, bro, we still going to be rocking regardless of if I'm in bars or not. Because this isn't the first loss I took that I had to be in jail for. You know, I got caught up on some stupid shit when I was on probation for a gun and some petty theft and dumbass shit. I did 45 days in jail, and I had a friend of mine out moving some work for me, and my girl was living in an apartment, and one of the neighbors called and said they're growing weed upstairs in an apartment. First of all, we're not growing no weed.
Yeah.
But I guess a maintenance guy went and sprayed for bugs. This is before I was smart enough to change the locks. When I would move into a place, I was like 20, 21 years old, and people went. Cops came to do a knock and talk to see if we were really growing or not. They knocked on the door. My wife now, or my girl at the time, opened the door up, and 5 unclothed police officers, so in regular clothing, walked into the house. The guy that I had hustling for me was supposed to be leaving the house with everything sealed up, so that way nothing would smell and the neighbors wouldn't know what's going on. But obviously he didn't. Yeah. The cops walked into that apartment, found an ounce of weed on his dresser, open, not sealed, no nothing. Got a warrant. I had a safe in the apartment, which is called Whisper Lakes. It's off of 436, just past University on the left. And I had a safe with $80,000 inside, and 6 pounds of weed and a pound of keef. I had maybe about 60, 70, almost $80,000 in a shoebox that was in a closet that I put in there before I had to do my 45-day bid. It was very small for a violation of probation. And I don't even know why I got to that thought, but at the end of the day, like, it wasn't my first time getting caught. Right. So it's not like I was super scared and thought I was super fucked. I've lost plenty of money to the cops, driving to California, getting caught with $150,000, them taking the money, trying to say they're going to take my kid away. It's just money. They can't take my kid away.
Yeah.
They don't catch me doing nothing illegal. They caught the money. I've been busted multiple times, but been lucky enough to not have to go to jail or not been caught exactly in the situation. My father-in-law got caught in Oklahoma with like 90 to 100 pounds. He's on 10 years federal probation, which he actually gets off, I think, this year. And you can find that he got caught in Oklahoma. If you just look up Henry Castro busted in Oklahoma, you're going to see his charge. I had a crazy operation where I had a Florida car, a Texas car, and a California car, and I had a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah. Bro, how does it feel to count that much money? Like, like you got 80 in your safe, so that's like your like, oh shit, money. Mm-hmm. So how does it feel to be just 80K? That's nothing to me. Fucking 150. That's another day in the office for me. Like, how does that get you? Like, I'm sure it's an intoxicating feeling.
Super intoxicating. It's like, oh, I took a shot, I feel great.
Yeah.
But I got to take another shot to feel great again. So it's like a gambler when he goes to the casino. He loses $100. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to bet another 100. I'm going to get it back.
Yeah.
Lose $100. Bet another 100. I'm going to get it back. Eventually, you do get that loss back. So that's the feeling that I got. Like, all right, I lost. Fuck. Damn, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I got to double down, just like anyone else would. So that's what I would do in the game. I would double down. I would risk everything I had. Financial asset, fucking my word. I sold my oil shop to a friend of mine. He gave me $100,000 down, and I financed him the rest. I ended up losing some money, and I was like, hey, bro, like, I got to get back right. I'll go ahead and put this contract on the line. Front me some work, bro.
Yeah.
And if I don't pay you back, the oil shop's yours. So I had to put the oil shop in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
but that just shows, I mean, you bet on yourself.
bro, all the time.
I was just about to say that. It seems like it's a lot of fucking just risking it for the biscuit, essentially. Just
that's that golden phrase: "Scared money don't make no money."
Yeah.
And I mean, you bet on yourself multiple times.
And that comes back to loyalty. No matter what I lost and what I had to get back right, regardless of the circle that I had or anyone eating at my table, bro, if I got it back, we all got it back.
Yeah.
I might have to burn my own face, but at the end of the day, anyone sitting at this table, bro, we all gonna be eating. We all gonna be good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I was the most, or I was the best friend at the time. I might have been an asshole sometimes, or be like, hey, bro, I need a little extra, or whatever the case may be. Is but say, hey, bro, if I'm good, we're all good.
Yeah.
Now, when it came to the sense of me being bad and we're all good, they're gonna make sure I'm good. That wasn't the case, you know.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, that's like fucking life.
All
like,
the time. That's
in
how it
anything,
goes.
like, you know, people, usually the most loyal people are the ones that get fucked over the most.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, if you think about it, it sucks, but that's, again, life fucking sucks and then you die. So, like, you know, you gotta fucking, you know, you kind of have to understand who you are as a person and what good comes from it and what the consequences are going to come from it. And I feel like that makes things a lot easier. And in your case, it seems like you kind of understand that. Like, you understand that, like, you could be loyal and sometimes to a fault, but you also, you know, the benefits that come from that kind of outweigh the consequences, the negative consequences that come from that.
Do you have a dog?
I do. I love dogs.
Okay. Now, you can feed your dog every single day and he's loyal, right?
Yeah.
But he can still bite you.
Facts.
That's the way the streets are. You can feed dogs as much as you want, but at the end of the day, they're still in the streets. They're still dogs. They're still wild animals.
Yeah.
So these motherfuckers can be loyal to you for forever. But the moment that something really happens in their life to where they gotta fucking eat, you become the prey at that time.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
stop
that's
feeding
It's
them for
unfortunate,
something,
but that's just how it
you know,
goes.
That's like that snake analogy that I use for politics. That, you know, there's two parties. You know, whatever side you lean on is what side you lean on. But usually one party is the snake on the sidewalk that you can see. You know what the snake's gonna do. You know what it's about. The other snake is the snake in the grass.
Yeah.
Using smoke and mirrors, gonna fucking, you know, try and, you know, pretend to be your friend and all that shit. Try and pander to you and all that shit to get what they want. Me personally, I'd rather just deal with the snake that I see in front of me because I know what I'm dealing with.
You know what he is.
I know exactly what I'm dealing with, so I can move how I want to move. When people, and that's something that I take like just in any type of relationship, like just be honest with me, so I know how to move. Once people start lying, trying to be shiesty, trying to do all this shit, then it's like, like, what really are your intentions? Like, you really like you don't really got me in mind. You don't got my best interest. Like, and again, to your point, like, you know, when you strip away the politics and strip away the rules, you know, it gets a lot dirtier a lot quicker.
And Eric's favorite phrase: people aren't against you; they're for themselves.
That quote,
all
man,
the time.
That quote is a fucking
and I can say
gem.
this, bro. I had a best motherfucking friend, but when shit hit the fan, that's when true colors really start to show. If you get caught up, bro, you still gonna be out here doing your thing, being in the clubs and VIP, driving fancy cars. Are you really gonna do that?
Fuck no.
No,
Shit,
bro. You're supposed
yo.
to lay back. You're supposed to chill. You're supposed to let the cards play itself. You know, you can't play yourself. Let the cards play itself,
Right.
Yeah.
and play them accordingly. So I was laid back doing my thing after my case, and motherfuckers looking at me like I'm weird. Bro, you being scary. You doing this? No, bro. Bro, we got eyes on us now.
Yeah.
We got
I'm
caught with 430
not
pounds.
gonna celebrate that I just got out of jail by going.
430 pounds. So if
Yeah.
you don't catch me in the street selling packs, don't think I'm being weird. I'm being safe.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers look at me like, bro, you being scary. No, bro, I'm being safe. At that time, I had 2 kids. You know, I have a wife. I got
Yeah.
shit going on, bro. I still got money.
Yeah, you got a family.
I still got an infrastructure.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when I get caught up, bro, let me lay back. Let me focus on this tax office. Let me hand out flyers. Let me act like ain't shit going on. Let me
Yeah.
act like I'm not the man.
Like
Which
you're
I-
innocent. Like
Exactly.
you're fucking innocent.
Exactly.
Like it's fucking.
So
People make this shit like it's fucking rocket science. Like it's like when you're a little kid. If you done something wrong and you keep on acting out, people are gonna fucking. Oh yeah, he's a trouble kid. Like of
Yep.
course, but like if you fucking get in trouble and then you just. You do your homework, fucking do your chores, shit like that. Your parents are gonna fucking lay off of you.
Yeah.
It's literally the same shit, but people are
Ease
just
up.
like, I don't know. Like it's weird how like the older you get, the more people just feel like I can just get away with anything. Like my shit don't stink, and I can just fucking do what the fuck I want. And
until they get smacked in the fucking face.
facts, honestly, like for
That's
real.
how it
And it's
goes.
like, what the fuck? Like,
You ain't lying.
how did you not see that coming? But that again, that kind of like that shows that you have that self-awareness that like it's not just a fucking like you're not just a dude like just coming up on drug money just trying to look for a quick fix essentially.
I was
like,
looking for a way out every time.
yeah,
You know how
But
many
that-
legal
that's
businesses I
self-
really tried?
Yeah.
yeah,
Looking for the next way.
But people
next
looked
step.
at me like I was a stupid. I failed and I failed and I failed. Bro, you're supposed to fail and fail and fail until you succeed.
Correct.
Failure is the path to success.
facts.
So when people tell me I'm a failure, oh, bro, he sold drugs and he failed. He had an oil shop and he failed. The oil shop didn't fail. I sold the oil shop. I made money. I put it into a nightclub to try to continue to succeed. And I put it into an artist to continue to succeed.
Yeah.
My artist did me dirty. Ended up moving to L.A. Blocked me off everything. I had a contract, so we were straight. We weren't in a
Yeah.
lawsuit until 2020, end of 2022 or early 2023 is when we came to our
Yeah,
settlement.
damn, so recent.
Yeah, pretty fucking recent. But at the end of the day, people are like, bro, you're a failure. Okay, I'm a failure. I'm a failure until I succeed. I succeeded in the streets. Anyone
Yeah.
can succeed in the streets, bro. Succeed in the real world. Having a job is real fucking hard.
Yeah, it is.
Having to have rules from somebody else is real fucking hard,
It's a
bro.
fucking pain in the ass. That's
If
what
you-
that
but
shit
listen,
is.
to the people who are working a 9 to 5, if you can succeed there, bro, you can succeed anywhere.
Yeah.
Don't limit yourself. Don't doubt yourself, bro. Someone's telling you what to do. Imagine when you're your own boss, paying your own bills, doing your own thing. It's levels. You can't start off running. You got to start off crying, needing mommy. Then you go to rolling. Then you go to crawling. Then you go to trying to walk, but you're falling. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, bro? It takes failure to get to success. And people may look at me like I'm a failure, but at the end of the day, I'm still trying, bro. I might get down 10 times.
Yeah, you
but
might
motherfucker-
fall a couple times, but you walking.
Nah, fuck that. I fell a lot of times.
10
But
times.
bro,
It's
I
like, that
still
was
get
a
up.
fucking jump.
I still get up. I lost my friends. I lost the streets. I lost my nightclub.
Yeah.
I lost my artist. I lost my father. Almost lost my wife. Almost lost my own life because of, mental instability. Bro, like being in the streets ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell everyone working, bro, working is a lot motherfucking harder, bro.
Facts.
So just keep
Facts.
at it.
Hey, that was beautiful.
Hey.
That was a beautiful way to fucking finish things off. That was a way to cap it off. Like you've been doing this for a while. Fuck.
Nah, dog, I'm nervous. as shit.
This is
Hey,
his
we were. I couldn't
190th
tell.
episode.
You did your thing. You were very transparent, very forthcoming. Definitely something that we got to have you on a few more times. Kind of get
sure.
Get the full story.
exactly
full
get
fucking-
more in
bro, there's
depth and
so
stuff like that.
much.
But that's the
Y'all
thing.
know
though.
anybody been robbed from cops? We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later,
There's
bro.
That's
levels.
the thing,
There's
like
levels to
you
this.
you live that shit, so like the dirty details of it, and the ins and outs of everything that fucking happened. So like to your point, like a lot of people want to say that they might have their opinion on it, they might have your opinion, their opinion on you,
Oh,
but
I
like
snitched if you ask. Which Jacob's got a report. He can look at the report. It made,
if we're going off the report, that's what it says, but we got the fucking source. We're going to the horse's mouth for
man,
this
fuck
one.
the
so.
source. You better ask my attorney. He'll really tell you. Hey, has Mike ever asked for a deal? He never did. Matter of fact, we should get a polygraph test right here live on podcast.
Hey, shit. Oh, fuck. What?
That'd be super
What?
lit.
Oh
That
my
would be
God.
super lit.
That's what's going to get us
Ask
the
me
views.
whatever question you got. And if I fail, we'll put 10 grand on the line. If I fail one question, bro,
And that-
y'all take the 10 grand. No Hangover podcast. 10
That's a
grand.
real
Came
hustler
up.
right
10
there. That's a
grand for no
fucking
Hangover
real
podcast.
hustler right
Listen,
there. You hear
I
that shit?
always bet
You
on
heard it.
myself.
10 grand for no Hangover podcast.
Fuck, we're gonna shake on it. Oh,
Hey,
here we go.
hey, come on, Taylor.
Hey,
Listen,
here we
I've
go.
always bet on myself. And
Hey.
there's maybe been some times where I was a hustler and I searched some truth. Like, hey, this on fire, bro. You got to get it. But at the end of the day, when I tell you, bro, ain't nothing weird happened during my case, or I never folded or didn't know whole ass shit, bro, that's a fact. Ask me any question you guys want live with a polygraph test, which it's only $400. It ain't nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Live on a polygraph test. If I fail on any question on doing some whole ass shit, No Hangover podcast gets $10,000.
Hey, fuck, we need that
Advance.
shit, buddy.
We will,
That's
get,
facts.
we will get down and dirty into these
That's
questions.
facts.
We're gonna ask the real questions. Fuck,
The hard-hitting questions. We want the facts.
but
Yeah, Mike told on everybody. Listen, fuck that. I said every name that I had to say to get out of my trouble.
Hey.
That's what y'all gonna have to ask.
Hey, shit, Mike, Mystro, we fucking appreciate you coming on. This shit was fun. We're definitely gonna do this shit again for sure.
The first of many.
Yeah,
Yes,
check
sir.
us out on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, TikTok. If you want to plug any of your social medias, anything like that,
Listen, Mystro _ that's it. I got a dispatching company, Load Chasers.
hey, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? We get lit. We doing a lot of other things than being in the streets. Basically, if you're dealing with trucks and have a CDL, that is the equivalent of having a nursing degree. You want to make
Word.
100,000 plus? Get your CDL, and I'll show
Word.
you how for free.
Word. Hey, so any of our listeners, if you got your CDL doing truck and stuff, hit us up and we'll get you in fucking contact because that's what we do over here.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's a wrap. 190 in the fucking books. We're definitely gonna have you on again soon.
Yes, sir.
And everybody love everybody. Deuces.
Peace.
That was beautiful. Beautiful.